All right, we're good. Oh wait, let me make sure this mic is stupidly picking up. Yep, we're good. We always put on headphones, but we don't need to.
Oh yeah, I just realized that.
Yeah, like it's
That's
dumb stuff.
odd.
It is what it is. What are you gonna do?
They said the audio was loud last time.
Yeah, I already adjusted it. It like crackles and pop and stuff. I'll see if it did anything this time. If not, I'm just gonna have to buy a pop filter or something. At least for when we live stream. Oh wait. Oh crap, where's my phone? No, did I leave it downstairs when I was? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, see, they're saying it sounds fine so far.
Okay, so that's good. Good.
Yeah, let's just start it then. Part two. The first time we're not doing too much moving around. We're not adding anything or taking anything off. We're just kind of readjusting the list and talking about the top two. So the main thing we need to readjust is My Hero. Where is that going?
That is, where is it right now? Oh yeah, there was no B.
Yeah, no, we moved it from no B.
I'd say put it next to Naruto not being the worst, but the second worst.
So
Because I don't think it's ever gonna hit that S tier. And
I disagree heavily. Cause excuse me. Cause just a year and a half ago, I wouldn't even begin to believe we would put it on a list like this.
Okay, but what could it do?
Bring Gentle back. And Shigaraki turn. And All Might dies for no reason, just to prop up Deku. Or Bakugo saves All Might or something. Or Bakugo inherits all One for All.
Okay. Gentle coming back, that may or may not happen, but
it's a good chance it happens.
So long as they do something with them, unlike with Mirio, where they do nothing with them, that won't be bad. What was the next one? Shigaraki turning, that's gonna happen. Whatever.
It's not a whatever. That's the problem. You've gotten so used to just expecting this that it's just like no.
But I don't think that would be S tier worthy bad, because there is setup based upon what? Yeah, the backstory didn't really set it up. It was just his family and. But I still don't think that would be S tier worthy, because Naruto proper is not S worthy, and it's got some really terrible stuff in
there.
Okay. I'm just saying, I don't see anything that it could do to push it to S. Again, if Naruto's not
in a year and a half, it has gone from potentially top 5 of currently running shonen to one of the worst currently running shonen. Year and a half, and I'm only giving it leeway. It's probably closer to even just a year ago I wouldn't have said this. It's got probably another 2.5, 3 years left in it.
Sure. But I think that it's going to
stay the course. They just hand-waved away the arms. Are we just forgetting? Because, the last chapter was fairly nothing. Are we just forgetting the chapter right before where it was like, if you keep messing up your arms, you're going to lose them forever? No, you're not.
But that would be one of those things where compiled with other complete and terrible stuff would be S tier worthy.
I think the terrible stuff is coming.
It's coming, but I don't see anything. Because again, we got Madara, we got Kaguya, those types of things. Stacks on stacks on stacks, forgiving Obito. And that's still not S. We got all the Itachi and Sasuke stuff.
But here's the funny thing. You're saying that we got all this stuff, it's not S. all the stuff you're mentioning is in the final 100 chapters. We're already putting this in A without the final chapter.
But this is the last arc. I don't see this going for more than another 2 or 3 years.
You are nuts so cuckoo, my friend.
What more can be done? He's already at 40. He jumped. He tripled his percentile output.
Sure did.
And he's got the bracer, so he's gonna be like, oh, this is how it feels to be at 60. And then he's just gonna be used to 60.
So we're just ignoring this whole leap in strength so early too? And then, you say this is the final arc because you don't see how else it could go. So you're telling me within one arc he's gonna go from 40% to 100%?
Absolutely.
and we're saying that this kid has no potential to be S tier.
That is what's gonna happen.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Because they said it's the... Oh no. That sounds terrible.
That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
But it could be done.
Yeah.
Convincingly,
absolutely. I am convinced that Obito would turn because his reasoning was so to begin with. Was it good though?
I wasn't convinced he would turn.
No. I was convinced by the turn.
I was not convinced by the turn. No.
What happened there?
Because it was just what it was, oh, you let Ren die. Well, that's not the full story, Obito. And you're destroying the world. Oh, I guess I am destroying the world. Like, what? What was there that would...
No, it was just a kid lashing out. That's 100% all it was. It was a stupid reason to begin with.
Yes.
And I was convinced that it could be turned based on another stupid reason.
So it's a stupid thing.
Yes!
Excusing a stupid thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I saw that.
I didn't say it was good. I said it convinced me because it was a stupid thing stopping a stupid thing. I am convinced by what you did.
I still see.
I am convinced in the turn. It was just terribly done. So what could Deku possibly do for Shigaraki?
He doesn't know him. Outside of there's one quirk missing from inside of him, I think, and it could be like a duplication quirk, and he'd be like, "Here's Nana explaining everything," and then
that won't be S tier.
You do. That would be really bad. Yo, that would be S tier. What could he do to turn him? Yeah. Okay, maybe he's not gonna turn. Either he's gonna...
he's turning.
Either he's not gonna turn, or he's gonna turn, and it's gonna be unconvincing. And then he's gonna die.
Worse.
And he's just gonna die, and thus removing any... It's gonna be like Kylo Ren. We're just like, we're not even gonna think about all the implications of everything that he's done from here on out, because he's just dead, and we're moving on. That's what's gonna happen with Shigaraki. There's gonna be some forced link between All From One and One For All, and it's gonna be like, oh, now I understand this bad, and it's gonna eat his body from the inside out, and he's gonna die giving a thumbs up or something.
What are the other schools doing?
Who cares?
Because UA is the top one,
Mm-hmm.
but there's others.
Yes,
and we've seen that they have some tremendous people over there.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? What are they doing?
They're in their own little quadrants. Because we saw Earthquake, dude. Did
they take a bus trip to go to the school to?
Okay, what is seeing Wind Dude do for the story?
A Wind Dude?
The Wind Dude.
You don't think Wind could do something? In that big old let's attack the
Okay, what does Meat Dude do for the story?
Okay, let's stop with the Meat Dude. Because what did Sugar Rush do for the story? So let's,
Okay, and what is he doing for the story? Nothing.
Okay, but if we're just pointing stuff out, why wouldn't the strongest people from the other schools be helping these mothers with this?
Why indeed?
Because it's a terrible series.
Yes, it is. But
I'm just saying,
them not
right
helping
now
is not S tier worthy.
We're not even at the end of My Hero.
No, we are not.
Not even close to the end, really. 2 years is not close to the end. That's another 100 chapters, which is when Naruto got to his worst. And it's already fourth in what we're looking at.
But here's the thing with My Hero. he has shown consistent good stuff.
And he lost it.
It's within him. It's within him to do good stuff.
You could have said the same for Kishi.
Naruto was never as good as My Hero was.
Absolutely not. But you could have said the same for Kubo.
Absolutely. That's what people kept. We discussed this in the Bleach Month thing. That's what kept people hanging on. Like, oh, it could get better. Yeah.
Hanging on. But then
But then once it is, it's just like, oh, what is there
it
now?
was even worse than I could have possibly imagined. So do you think there's a potential turnaround? Or do you think there's, as has been evidenced so often, of authors just losing it, another one that just lost it?
Has there been anybody that turned it around?
Let's just look at Toriyama, Kubo, Mashima. When? When is this gonna happen?
When indeed. It might not. It might just be a leveled -6, -7, and we just
it's not even that
grave.
now.
We just go to the grave with it just being, wow, that was just a flat line suck throughout. I'm just saying I don't see it going to S. Because there's still, if you look at Super and Boruto, the lack of good there is staggering. And My Hero is not doing anything as bad as what Super and Boruto is doing. I would say create an A+ or an S-, but to put it up against those two titans is no.
No, at this present moment, I would never do that. But a year from now, 2 years from now,
but it would still have that goodwill of at least 2 or 3 pretty good to pretty good arcs, as opposed to nothing. And I counted 2 things that I like for Boruto. You shut up, Mike. I didn't say it was a -7. I said that it was a flat line.
Returned to that number.
Yes, it was always returned to the -7.
Which means at the end of the day, you think it's going to be a -7.
No. Once you average out everything, it'll probably go down.
Okay, but that would imply that you believe it's higher than -7, as in like right now it's a -4 or -5.
No. Right now, I believe that it's like a -8.
You think right now?
Yes.
It's a -8.
And we're gonna get into it. But it goes down, but it also goes back up to that -7 house.
Here's
what it always goes to.
Naruto moves up to S. My Hero is the worst of A. Samurai 8 moves B.
No. I will not allow it.
What part is wrong?
The Samurai 8.
Let's do the other 2 for right now then.
But even the Naruto.
Let's do the other 2
even
for right
Naruto,
now then.
I do not believe Naruto is an S.
We'll get into it. Right now we're doing the other 2. Why isn't Samurai 8 a B?
Because it is the worst that you can be is boring. I've said this constantly. Boy. And Samurai 8 is so nothing. Now, those 2 things, their badness trumps the boringness. But with Samurai 8, there is so little to talk about because he tries so much and it goes nowhere. Now, you could be like, yeah, he didn't know it wasn't going anywhere, but you don't do so much in chapter 1. Your cup runneth over. And he just kept going. And he never stopped. And nobody ever stopped him.
It was high concept without
way too high concept. You got samurais, you got mechs, you got swords up in people's hands. You need a familiar and a princess and a samurai to unlock your true power.
You got the Metala box and the Pandora's box.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff there.
There is a lot of stuff. And then the dad is like he's a secret scientist who made 7 babies to open up the box, and now you got 7 of the main characters, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then here comes this dude just like oh, here I'm gonna kill you, Hachimatsu's father, and you're like, I don't care.
Okay. You are rewatching the last Fairy Tail arc.
I did.
How could How could Samurai 8 possibly be above it?
I would say moving it down and Fairy Tail up, but moving it to B is an absolute no.
I'm just slowly sloping you to this B.
You're not getting it.
Okay.
Make your defense for B for Samurai
8. I could see.
No. I don't care about potential.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying within it.
Okay.
I can see the workings of it being good. Like, I could have somebody, if somebody were to sit me down and go, this is everything, this is why it's good, I could be convinced that it is at least a 6 series.
How?
Absent of the last few chapters, because they just had to wrap it up real quick. But before that, there's some really good potential stuff there.
What did I say? I literally just said I don't care about potential.
You did say
that. Literally just said that.
You did that. You did say that. How do I explain this?
Yes.
Because it's not offensive.
No, it's not, but it's boring.
Yes.
And like I said, boring because there's nothing really to talk about.
Okay.
You got that tournament, you got that dude that stayed in his house, and it's like, well, whatever. And then he just comes back. Yeah, that was last arc thing. He needed to come back. You could probably say that, he would slowly be integrated back into the series. But he just came back and he's like, I'm a samurai now too. Like, okay, good. That's storytelling.
Let's just look at the rest of A. Mm-hmm. Consistently horrible. My Hero, consistently. Mm-hmm. Consistently offensive.
Yes.
Hunter x Hunter, that's in Chimera Ant arc. You want to talk about boring and long and actually just bad? That's the thing. You could say everything in A has parts where it's just really boring, but the only one that's not outright...
Not Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is consistently entertaining. Outside of the Ellis arc.
Okay, then.
No, but that's not fair.
How's it not fair? That's my whole point. Everything here has things that are just really boring about it. But there's only one in that A tier that I could not say definitively I think is bad as well.
Okay, but there is nothing else in this entire worst shonen list that I can say is consistently boring.
Nope. That's why Dragon Ball has peaks. Okay, here's the thing. Everything at A is like, there's the peak of where it was started, and then it's just a slippery slope or a straight down tilt. C is just like, it's less of it, or there's peaks and valleys. B is literally a straight line. And wouldn't you say that's Samurai 8?
The fact that it's so boring, the fact that it does almost nothing is offensive.
Absolutely, but that's not A-worthy when I got actual bad things. A's hit at least 2s at point.
And it's also bad. It's not just...
I don't think so. I think it's uninteresting.
The very first arc where he goes, okay, you are in this big orb. You can never walk out of this house. Blah, 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 blah. He's going out to get parts to...
incubation where he can walk outside.
And then within a chapter, it is resolved.
Absolutely.
And he maybe once or twice goes, I was in... With the dude, outside of that dude who's stuck in his house as well, he rarely ever goes, I was inside of my house from moment 1 of my birth to now.
He said it to the princess. I lied to you. Like,
okay, yeah, there. But twice. That's some trauma stuff. That is...
Yeah, it's trauma stuff. But, it's not like Naruto where every time he's just like sad face and then there's a shadowy silhouette of a swing.
Maybe you need that.
It's 42 chapters and he mentioned it twice.
But that's your whole life.
Okay, but he's already mentioned it to two people.
That's not affecting your mindset or anything. That's not like he doesn't have trust issues. There's no personality thing based upon the fact that he's been in this house forever.
He's never had anybody to trust or distrust.
Exactly. So how does he... human interactions, things like that. He has to learn these things.
Yes, and he's poor at it. Because that's what the whole conversation with the princess was.
That was that one thing, but it was just the princess.
Okay,
no, it's just the princess that he has a problem with, because she's a girl and it's just like, oh, we are fated to be together, and the fated to be together thing is the awkward thing. Not, oh, I am awkward at speaking or understanding people or anything.
Because he doesn't really have shame, because shame is a thing you get when you interact with people. Like 2-year-olds don't have...
Okay, shame, but what about embarrassment, awkwardness?
That's all part of the shame. Like, the more you interact with people, the more you start feeling those types of things. A 2-year-old is not embarrassed. A 2-year-old is not ashamed of anything. It's when they start interacting with more and growing. That's when this guy has not had any interaction with people except his dad, and has just been like, screw you, but I love you.
But what about he, in the very next chapter, or the chapter afterwards, he sees the guy going through the exact same thing that he goes through, and he bumps him up.
Yeah.
He has
like, I was in that same
Yes,
space.
he has enough courage, knowledge, empathy to just go...
Empathy? Why wouldn't he even have empathy if he's in the same position?
Why would he have empathy if he's
only
only talked to one person throughout his entire life?
He's in the same position, and they've been video games friends forever.
But he's only talked to one person throughout his entire life. He's too good at human interactions.
I don't think he's too good. You know what? It's kind of hard to say that because they have a literal thing of gravity where people are pulled towards you.
That's another concept. Get it in there.
That's another concept.
Burn the Witch. You read Burn the Witch?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We see all the comments. We're just trying to get our discussion stuff out, and then we'll go into our whole We'll talk to everybody and do everything. But yeah, I really enjoy Burn the Witch. It really breaks a lot of Bleach. If you want to go, read Burn the
Bleach, it hurts.
I'll tell you one part of it. They have a whole like upside down London. So let's just say that's their spirit world. If something happens in that world, it affects the real world. So if this house is in the spirit world and it gets hit, it will happen in the real world.
And it's just inexplicably the house just breaks and nobody knows anything. And that's really dumb.
Yeah. So then you start going to the other side of Bleach where they're roughly in the same area, and there was even a fake town, but that didn't happen.
That's really
And they don't deal with hollows, they deal with dragons.
That's real bad.
So is it like I was wondering, is there a division in the Bleach verse or the Bleach sphere in the East that deals with dragons, or does the East deal with dragons and does the East deal with hollows and the West deal with dragons? Because there's a point where one of the main characters says they got it right in the East, they just kill them. Do they mean they just kill the hollows, or do they kill the dragons that division has?
Mm-hmm. But then what if a dragon...
I'm not talking about the design, Mike. The vagina window was very bad. I'm the one that pointed it out to you. How could I forget?
But yeah, what happens if a dragon comes into Katakura Town? Do they have to bring over a Burn the Witch person, or do they?
Yeah, they have special weapons to deal with dragons.
So
it's not the same thing.
So it just be a dragon rampaging until they get there.
Correct.
That's really dumb. That really hurts Bleach.
Yeah. So that's what I felt about.
Make the world smaller, not larger, if you can't handle it.
There you go. I don't think we're gonna come into a consensus for this, because I really don't see how you could put it at low A tier when you see the rest of A tier.
Mm-hmm. But again, all of those things have something good in it, and this does not.
Is it even close to the bad of Fairy Tail?
No.
Then why can it not be in B? That makes no sense.
Because it's not close to the good of, say, a Dragon Ball.
Yes. That's why it's in between both. It's not as close as bad to Fairy Tail. It's not close as good to Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that literally be why you put it in B?
Absolutely not. Because there's no reason why it should be even close to anything that... Because in C, it's just like, okay, it's moving towards good. And this is not moving towards good because it's such a flat line.
Yes. It is the literal middle. B. Mm-mm. You're just shaking your head.
I'm saying. It's so uninteresting. That's what makes it bad. the bad stuff is bad, but this is uninteresting.
Here's the thing.
There's like nothing that I could do to be like, how would I make this good? What would move it up to C tier? What would I take or put in or remove outside of the end? What would I put in or remove in order to make it good? And I can't think of anything.
But you can't think of anything to add to it to make it bad to move it up to A. I could do the same argument.
Yes, I can.
What?
There are characters that are absolutely nothing. Like there's two ninjas, two samurai that are like.
I'll stop you. I can tell you what could move it up. That battle system they were doing with the whole you got to unlock this move once you get to a certain spec point.
Yeah, that could have probably. It was a good concept, but based on everything that we see, he would high concept it up.
There's a high potential for that. Absolutely a high potential.
Absolutely.
For that. But just looking at everything, S is the worst, D is the best. If you're just going, it's so in the middle, why wouldn't we put it literally in the middle?
Because it is bad in its uninterestingness. It's not. B sounds like it is something. But
no,
this
it's
is
literally nothing.
The fact that it is so nothing is what makes it bad.
D is something. C is something. A is something. S is something. B is nothing.
B is also something. How is B not something?
No, it's.
Would you put Haikyuu in B?
Yes,
I would not.
Where would you put Haikyuu?
D.
Why?
Because there's nothing bad in Haikyuu, but there is bad
He's
in
an
Samurai
Olympic level jumper.
There's nothing outside of that. There is nothing horrific in
what's like two good characters in there.
Ian Sinclair's character that you did not get to. Don't. He's a good character.
Do you like the character or do you like Ian Sinclair?
I like the character. Ian helps. And there are two managers.
I want you to read that.
I'm not reading that.
The two managers I will give.
There you go. But with Samurai 8, what good characters?
I would say An.
What is she? She is a nervous princess. She is nothing.
She became a princess to help bolster her brother, and once her brother died, she just kept going on the path that she thought was best for him.
Mm-hmm. That's not a personality. What is she? Like I said, she's a nervous princess. You gave her backstory.
She is very like not giving a shit. Because she creates the flowers and just like, this is great.
I can't say that. Because their very first thing where they go out and just like, hey, I'm going to lie to you, they were helping people.
I mean, what?
Where he goes, when they were sitting on the bench, he's like, oh, I've been around the world, I've been a samurai, all that stuff. They're out helping people.
What do you mean they're out helping?
They were their purpose they're like, you two split up and they were out.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it's not really she doesn't give a shit.
No, she doesn't give a as in she doesn't care what people think about her. Not that she doesn't care about people.
Okay, sure.
She's caring.
Oh my goodness.
Like what?
There's nothing to say about, I almost say Burn the Witch. Samurai 8. Mm-hmm. There's enough bad to go. This is because there's the battle systems, the samurai, the Susanos, just piles of characters coming up. At a certain point, they're like, "Oh, we need to find these certain number of people that do these things, and that little girl is one of them. We'll find the rest of them."
I'll tell you a really good moment when he's fighting that dude, and he's just like, "I just got to get one hit," and it's just like, "Here's the scoreboard. You're not getting a single hit," and he's just slowly learning, and then he's just like, "I'll cut my head off to get this hit." That's a really good and interesting part. Mm-hmm. Another one is the whole discussion with the princess.
Really love that.
And the lead up to it, where it's just like the dude is just like pushing her towards because it's all some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. But the fighting thing, there's no stakes. You got a healer and you can detach your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no issues there. The two of them thing, absolutely. I've said that was the one good thing that I liked about Samurai 8. and nothing else.
I like that fight thing. I like the two samurais they met up. The dude that betrayed him, and then it was just like, nah. I like their dynamic.
His shtick got old.
Absolutely. But I did enjoy them. But I'll say this. It was very much the Batista thing, but it was the Batista thing where they kept it going instead of just going, we're going to do it twice and then completely forget about it. That's why I believe it's B. Like,
no. Because it needs to be something. Because B sounds like, it's whatever. It's not whatever. It's whatever.
I would literally call it whatever going closer to bad.
That's why it's the top of A. It's bad.
It should be the top of B then.
It's the only B.
But as we add more, there's going to be more going to B.
What more are we adding?
At some point, I'm reading Haikyuu.
I don't see why.
Content,
it's so boring.
It matters to me because
it also matters to me. I was just about to say that.
Because A is a whole different tier of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a grade. Like if it was just
literally
A, B,
a grade.
There's no plus.
It's not like nothing.
Yeah.
It's literally.
In school, if you got a B on your report card or an A on your report card, those are totally different things. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna move on that one right now, but I'll just keep it. Let's answer some things or just look at some things real quick before we get into this thing terribleness.
Hunter x Hunter is a yearly thing. Get that garbage out of here.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter.
Here's your yearly stick figures.
Enjoy.
And endless word bubbles.
And man, do people consume. It might be better to just do it on the phone. Yeah, it's going to be better to just do it on the phone. Holy crap, is it warm?
Not really.
You are crazy. As much flaws as My Hero does have, and I don't agree with it being high into people's list when it comes to bias high, then it's past, then My Hero at least deserves to be at B. No.
I don't believe so.
I'll say this. My Hero is only so high because it was so good to begin with. I've always said, I don't care if you've always been bad, just always be bad. And have splashes of good, or get worse.
It's just that disappointment.
It's going from a 9 to a 2, and so it feels like a 0 now.
And there's also a good amount of bias of Todoroki and Bakugo, Hawks, and Endeavor, and the camera's just in their face while there's other more interesting characters that I would like to see that are just over there.
Yeah, start bad, get better, end good. Or start okay, get better, get a little worse, end however. But don't start amazing and then become really bad, because it's just going to stick out just how bad you are in contrast to when you were super duper good. I wouldn't hate Naruto as much if it wasn't pretty good at the beginning. I wouldn't hate Bleach as much if it wasn't so amazing at the beginning. If Bleach was always roughly Hueco Mundo, it'd just be like, ugh.
Yeah, it'd be like, yeah, that sure was something. There's something in there for everybody, but ooh, stinky.
Stinky. Naruto is either the weakest of S or the strongest A. Yes. I had to put it in S because that final...
I'm going to fight you on that one.
Well, okay. I stopped fighting you on that. Let's stop fighting on Naruto. We'll come back to it next time.
I'd like to get some points out at least, because we stopped fighting, but at least...
Yeah, I'm fine with hearing it, but I'm not going to move it. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. And that was... then we'll do it next time.
Yeah, because the whole thing was, I left Samurai 8 in A because that's where we originally had it, so why not just... To the moon!
And it'd be it's the worst because it's not just it was just Kaguya. Now it's just our whole clan. And then they go, hey, did you like Kimimaru? He was one of them. Like, well, why?
And why was he dying? If that's the case.
Naruto month is coming.
Yeah, Naruto month is coming. Yeah, let's just get into it then. So, I recently caught up in Boruto, and even before I had gotten anywhere close to Boruto, I had said, I was like 7, 8 chapters in, I was like, it is the worst. It is even worse than Super. Now, I can definitively say, it is far and away worse than Super.
No, you were reading it with the mindset of, ooh, I want this to be the worst. That's all it was, and you made it the worst in your mind. You have no point, sir.
You're crazy.
The list stands.
You are crazy. Because I'll say this. We talk about, mostly being nothing. Okay, Dragon Ball started out, let's just say at a 6.
We're at Super.
Yeah, Super. Super started out at a 6 with the beer stuff. Got some peaks of 7, maybe 8 during the beer stuff. Went down to a 3-2 during the fight. Frieza, mostly some 4 stuff. Tournament, mostly some 3 or 4 stuff.
That's a little too high. You're going too high to boister your points. And
fine, I'll go down to 2 stuff for that.
I appreciate it. I see where you're going with this.
Goku Black.
You're a piece
mostly
of
1 stuff.
Mostly, okay, sure.
Mostly 1 stuff. That's only because there's a lot of 0 stuff in there. Don't get it twisted. I'm not bringing it up. It's just mostly a 1. Tournament of Power, mostly 0 stuff. Boruto is mostly 1s and 2s with a peak of a 6.
I don't believe that. That is a gross generalization. You're looking at it as one big arc because that's basically what it is.
So why should I look at it like that?
No, so that's easy to say. There's 2s and 1s. That's a lot easier to just go, in this arc, it's a this. In this arc, no, that's very disingenuous, and you're a piece of and we're ending the stream. Okay. This is sticking.
Let me ask you, what in Super is worse than the worst thing you could think in Boruto?
We would have to establish what the worst thing in Boruto is.
Okay, let's do it like this. What in Super is worse than Naruto's transformation?
Oh, you're going with the
Oh no, I'm just pointing out some things.
Okay. Susanoo Goku.
Susanoo, big tall Goku?
Susanoo Goku.
Is worse than Naruto's transformation?
Yes.
I would say comparable.
I would not say comparable because at least we have evidence of somebody going, here is a transformation. It's gonna burn up your chakra. That's fine. Whatever. It's just the things around it. There's this new form. Okay, we already know they got new forms. Whatever. That's fine. It burns up your life. That's fine because you're using up so much chakra. Once you punch somebody, then it eats up their life. That's dumb. And the form looks really bad. It looks so fan-made DeviantArt bullshit. It is unbelievable. I hate that form so much.
And you're telling me that Big Goku is worse than this?
What basis do we have for Big Goku? Has anybody ever put a spirit on their fist and made their fist bigger? He made an entirely new Goku that is tangible enough to hit and be strong enough to hit somebody at planet size.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We have no precedent for this. It comes out of nowhere. It does nothing.
Rate them.
Nobody is surprised.
Rate them.
Are we rating them in terms of the -10 scale?
Sure.
Are we doing
let's
normal
do negative
people ratings?
Dude, let's do negative.
Spirit form 10, this thing 9. If I
looking at this thing right now.
Here's what I can give you.
9.
Here's the best that I can give you. I can give you a Hall of Fame and I can give you a regular -10 for this.
No.
That's the best that I can give you. But there is no way that you're telling me that this it looks terrible. We got it. We're here. We're past it. I will give you that. What more can you say other than it looks terrible? Nothing. We're done. We understand
what
it looks terrible. What more can you say outside of it looks terrible?
What more should I need to say?
Exactly. So we're done. We're
It's
both
like
in
each
agreement.
of those last four.
No, yeah, we're both in agreement that it looks terrible, and we're moving on.
It looks terrible. It's designed to nerf Naruto, because it's gonna kill me. It's basically out of nowhere, because it's just like, oh, the entire world is ending. Well, we're not gonna do this, Naruto, even though I have another me right next to you, so we could do this form. No, we're just not gonna do this form until right this second. Comes out of nowhere, looks stupid, designed
we're not talking about look stupid.
Designed to nerf Naruto. Arbitrary time limit.
That's it.
What more can I say about it?
I've given my reasoning as to it. This may come out of nowhere, but there's at least a precedent set for we know he can transform with Fox Chakra.
Okay, how about this? Give me the 3 best things in Naruto, or 3 things in Boruto that you, or even things you really liked in Boruto. 3, and then give me 3 you really liked in Super.
Shino.
That one line, it was a side.
Was it in Boruto? Can you look in Boruto and get that line?
That's not even
Can you look in Boruto and get that line? Answer the question.
Why are we even...
Answer the question.
Sure.
Yes. The answer is yes. So Shino is one. That shows comedic potential. That was funny. That was character stuff. It was set up. It was paid off. In that one little 5-6 panels, set up, payoff, done.
But that's like saying I like the drafts they draw in the volume.
That's not it. That's not the same at all. Shino, I'ma eat you, Boruto. That was good. In the tuning exams,
you sit here and lie to me right now, please.
In the tuning exams, there was a very difficult question, and it was just like step over there for 1, step over there for 2, and then they separated them. It was like, okay, and then they dropped the floor and they went, here's the real test. Your mind was too focused on the actual answer. Now you got to think fast when you're not expecting something.
Sure. Now with Super. You shouldn't have to think this alone because you know you're a liar.
No, Beerus.
That's an entire character.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hey, I'ma eat you guy as a character.
Yeah, that was there for what? 4 chapters?
Now we're talking about how long people been there.
We're talking about how long in Samurai 8 is and the potential is... I don't care.
I didn't say how long Samurai 8 was.
Keep going.
Frieza.
Character.
The beginning of moral arc.
An entire beginning of an arc.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Shino in a side...
No, it happened in Boruto.
I'm just saying. No. Okay, Shino in a Otake or whatever it is.
It happened in Boruto. Shino in Boruto.
Bruh, it was a bonus track. And you're like, whoa, you can buy the deluxe edition.
No, okay, it was there.
Okay,
I heard the song, and I'm judging that song.
Okay.
I don't care if it was on bonus deluxe. I don't care if other people read or watched it or whatever. It was there, and I'm judging it.
Okay, Shino on a bonus panel strip.
No! It happened in Boruto!
It's not a bonus.
I don't care. It happened in Boruto. Stop pointing it well. It happened.
It technically didn't happen in Boruto. It happened after Boruto.
No. Could you pick up a Boruto manga and see that?
No. You'd have to pick up the entire volume.
Yeah, it's still the Boruto manga.
People that read monthly, over
I could go into Barnes and Noble somewhere because I don't know another bookstore. I can go back in time to when Barnes and Nobles were open, picked up the Boruto volume, flipped to that page and see it. It is in Boruto. I don't care.
Okay.
Coward. Cowardice.
Shino in a
cowardice. And no,
bonus.
it was in Boruto.
Okay, here we go. 6 panels of Shino.
Mm-hmm.
I'ma eat you guy.
Yep.
And really just that line.
No.
Just a rough outline of that line.
No, he had a good power set.
Okay.
The design was trash, but it was also a growing moment for the kid.
I'ma eat that dude. Mm-hmm. And won the test in the tuning exams.
It was a pretty good test.
Versus an entire character. Mm-hmm. An entire character.
Yep.
And the entire beginning of an arc. And if you were to sit there and have to list out 10 things, you could name Super way quicker than you could Boruto, because there's nothing to like in Boruto because it is absent of good.
Okay, but here's the thing about that. Beerus stays good to me, no problem, but he doesn't really do anything. Mm-hmm. Frieza gets bad because he just keeps coming back. There's no real point to him. There's no reason why he should have come back to life. There's no reason why Goku should have been like, I want him. And then the beginning of the moral arc turns into something terrible. We've discussed how it hurts when something is good and it turns bad.
But you've also said you don't subscribe to that line of, oh, you're talking about turn from good to bad. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what that is.
So are you saying that Boruto is not as bad because it was always really bad?
No, I never said that.
Then I don't see what you're talking about.
I think that there is worse things in Boruto. I mean, worse things in Super than there are in Boruto. Yes, there are better things, but there are far worse things.
Like what?
The big planet, Vegeta learning several new things.
New Ten Tails.
New Ten Tails?
New Ten Tails.
Oh, yeah, he was just over there. He was chilling. We can't go point by point.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
No, we'll literally be here all day. And you know we will. There's no point to that.
How not?
Like, we'll be here all day.
Okay, so New Ten Tails, they advanced technology so much to the point where they got ninja zoom.
Like I said, I showed the picture of them on TV screens. They had ways of transmitting data already. It's all about just advancing that. They literally had VHSs and VCRs. This is some 15 years in the future. Back in 2005, what was the technology like? We were just getting DVDs.
The new villain that could just see everything, know everything, know your past, and you can't get close enough because you just fall in love with her before she even starts displaying her powers. And that's not even one of the gods.
And her design is really bad as well. She's just got like planets on her pants. It looks stupid. But she got like a little star earrings, a star hoop earring. So that's good. That's a point. We agree. You're nodding. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Good. Thank you. So if we're going most recent villains, we can just hit Granola.
Yeah, absolutely.
He looks terrible. He got the same face as everybody else. Vegeta, Gohan face with this big dumb eye thing.
But I will say he's a better character.
In what way? Well, okay, wait, that's not fair because we've gotten 4 or 5 chapters plus a motivation for him, and we've gotten half a chapter of old girl. That's not fair.
I don't need any more. She's trash.
That's not fair.
She
could be Tenten's sister, and then we got some pathos there.
Why? When's the last time you saw Tenten?
We can make Tenten important here and now.
How?
Here and now, but that's her sister. And then she also has the mind thing, and she has it in reverse, so nobody likes her.
The kid.
Oh no, Tenten!
The kids are simply better than their parents.
They most certainly are. If we're going kids, Goten and Trunks are still the exact same age and the exact same mentality.
They're not the exact same age.
They're not the exact same age, but they look the exact same and they have the exact same mentality.
Absolutely.
Because they're so lazy that they can't design a 13-year-old Trunks.
Absolutely.
When they already designed a 13-year-old Trunks. Trunks is the exact same age as he was when he was crying to Gohan, going, all these motherfucking androids, right before the time skip. They have a design right then and there, but they don't want to use it because they're just so lazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Laziness. I understand. They broke the entire power system.
Sure they did.
Don't shrug your shoulders when
I did shrug my shoulders. I moved my hands in a shrugging motion. Don't misrepresent me.
You're gaslighting me.
Gaslighting me, bro. Yes, they absolutely did. But how often do they use that?
1, 2, 3. That.
It has not been used in a very long time, and when it has been
But
used,
Ninja,
it is not problem fixing.
I'm sorry.
Please. When has the ninja tools been used to fix the problem?
The ninja tools?
Yeah.
In general?
No, I'm talking about the whole
okay.
You can now do a Rasengan.
But it still breaks the power system.
True.
It makes everybody less special.
True.
And more special.
But it has not been done to break the universe in any way, shape, or form.
Is there even a character that's any good?
Yeah. Because
that was the most unconvincing I have ever seen in my life.
No, because you take somebody like Shika. Shika is now basically worthless because you can just pop out a shadow transformation. But somebody like you can't.
Don't give me past characters. Is there a character in Boruto?
No, I'm explaining why the ninja tools are because Shika can only get more stuff via the ninja tools. You can't mind transfer into a ninja tool. Mm-hmm. Only Ino can do that. So Ino is important. And she can also flip out a fire jutsu. Shika, he's basically just a brain now. He's nothing. Because you can just he eats up chakra by doing his shadow stuff. He's a detriment of nothing else. But somebody like Ino, she is important.
Okay.
Now, if you're talking about the new,
but she has importance outside of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, this is the thing. Shouldn't you be made important through the things you can do as opposed to just trying to do everything?
Yeah, and they do. Shika is important.
But that's the point. Like with the whole thing, with the fireball and stuff, it breaks the power system. You're saying it makes Ino more important, but Ino's a super important person, or it makes her more viable in battle or whatever. But she's a super important person.
No, your point was who is I forget your exact wording, but it was basically who's. There are things that the ninja tools can't do, is what I'm saying. And that makes some people obsolete and other people more special.
Okay. Is there anything that tells us that they can't do that?
How? How can you ninja tool a mind transfer?
How can you ninja tool a Rasengan?
Well, it's just a jutsu. Who did they get that sample from?
Mind transfer is just a jutsu.
No,
her whole clan can do it.
Sure, but how do you flip something and go, okay, this thing has my mind or the ability to make me transfer my mind? It's not. There's things that are physical, like the Rasengan and the shadows, but this is not a physical thing.
No, I literally understand what you're talking about. But there is nothing that says that it can't be done. It just hasn't been done.
No, how? In what way can you flip a thing and go? Your mind is now transferred. There's
a clue, because I'm looking at something like the Nara clan, and only they can use shadow.
No, but everything that we've shown with the ninja tools has been a physical thing. This is a mental thing. We have not been shown anything mental.
But what I'm saying,
you can't just go, there's no reason why they can't do it, and that's your argument.
Then you can't really do that because we got such a small sample size of only being able to do. They've only shown it doing like 4 or 5 things,
but they've all been physical.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's such a small sample size.
But they've all been. If it's all the same certain thing, there's only the assumption that they can only do these things.
But that's like going, people aren't sick people are sick when there's 5 people, but there's 1,000 people out there. It's such a small step. You took the test for 5 people,
but that's not comparable.
But we only seen like 5 things. We don't know we don't know the limits of it.
But if we can, you're not telling me how does somebody push a button and
Because
go, my mind is now into this thing.
Because I don't even know how they take a bloodline limit like the Nara clan stuff to do it.
But at least it's a physical thing.
I'm saying they've unlocked the ability for your blood jutsu to be
But it's
here.
still just a jutsu. Saratobi, the main dude, the main Hokage, the third Hokage, he was said to know every single jutsu in the Hidden Lake. It does not say every single jutsu outside of the Kekkei Genkai. He said to every single jutsu, so he knows that. It's just a thing.
You're unbelievable.
Refute that.
Okay. He says, you know
we're gonna read it. We're gonna read you. It just works. We've been seeing it. It's just we're heated. We can't like stop and go, oh, he's got a point, and then you're making his point for you. And this is, you know, we're trying here. This is new for us, all right?
You know what? I think he's right. I think it is just a special jutsu and not a bloodline limit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's too small a sample size to simply go, they can't do this.
And I'm just
because why would the scrolls themselves even contain the thing that? Oh wait, he showed how it's done. I can't remember what it was, but he didn't he show how the process works?
I mean,
like you push the jutsu into it or something.
Will this make my point if I agree with you? To use, scroll cartridges have a jutsu seal within them, loading chamber. That doesn't say how. Maybe we can go to sealed into them. Let's see. Okay, so it said that it's sealed into it, so it's just a sealing jutsu, and then you poop it out.
You unseal it.
Yeah, it's just like Tintin's weapons.
So you push it in there, and then you could just
and it's just all that is just a sealing jutsu. Now the problem is they would need a Rasengan in order to.
But I think they got Konohamaru to do that. I mean, he's there.
Sure.
But how do you mass produce that?
How indeed? Well, maybe there's somebody who can copy. There's not. That Kakashi was special because he could.
So how do you mass produce something like that?
That's a good question.
Because I think Boruto just bust out like a mist or something, or a water jutsu and all this extra. But how do you mass produce it? It's so broken.
Yeah, get on in there.
I'm just saying, the bad of Boruto, because Boruto from the beginning has always been bad.
Absolutely.
Now, both series hit zeros, but Boruto never goes above a 4. I take that back. There was I enjoyed the rich kid stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's probably a 7. Beyond that, it's all 3s and 2s and 1s and 0s.
Sure, but that you can say the same thing for DB's Super.
Can't,
but it's just that it had a pretty good start. But then, other than that, you start going downtown.
But at least I can get some peaks in there.
Where?
The Moro beginning.
Okay, that is the second to last arc that we're currently on. So you've gotten like 8 arcs of
the Granola beginning.
No,
with him learning everything about him, I enjoyed that. I thought it was good.
What? That he's just another I hate Saiyans?
Not that part, but just like, you know, I got this water. I'm getting this special water for this old Namekian that took care of me. And
where does that?
We're just trying to live.
And where does that lead?
It's not there yet. I don't know what you want from me. I can't tell you the potential of where it goes. So I don't know what you want from me.
It's not like they just turned their head. It was like, there's a Dragon Ball. And then they turned on the TV and was like, Dragon Ball discovered. Hey, that's the thing. And then he got the Dragon Ball. And then he got a wish to be the strongest ever.
I mean, that most certainly happened. But it's not like they went within 14 seconds. hey, we're gonna nerf 2 literal gods.
No, but they did nerf a set of Dragon Balls.
They also nerfed Naruto and Sasuke from the very beginning.
No, they didn't nerf them. They made people strong enough that they made them too strong. They went, okay, Naruto and Sasuke are at a 10, so we need 11 villains. And that's what they got. Outside of there's certain things, like when he was fighting that chick and he's struggling. I'm like, what the is this?
Sasuke, legit. How many times does he use his Mangaku?
He uses it like twice. He's a Rinnegan man now. That's his...
The Rinnegan can do so many things.
It most certainly can.
And all he did was teleport with it.
That's a pretty good teleportation.
Where's Susanoo?
It's a pretty good... He used it once.
Once.
Yep. He uses up a lot of chakra, that.
Where's Naruto's Sage Mode?
It's not useful. It's basically just a power-up with nature chakra, and you can just basically get that with the QB chakra mode.
But doesn't it disrupt the power of the people that he's fighting?
Does it?
I could have sworn it hurt Kaguya and them.
No, that's just because that was they need to be hurt by that thing.
What?
They need to be hurt by Sage Energy or Sage of the Sixth Path.
So why isn't he using it?
He has the Sage of the Sixth Path within his Biju mode. So it's just fine.
So why doesn't it work?
Because they're too strong.
No, that's bullshit.
They are.
No,
they are.
It literally disrupts your power.
Okay, but did we not see Kenshiki or whoever that was just baby moding Naruto and Sasuke? They did everything that they could, and he was too strong. No, that's what I'm saying. They are not nerfed. It's just that there are other strong people.
No, they
are also nerfed.
They are heavily nerfed,
but not in that fight. They used a good amount of stuff, except for there was one point where Naruto kicks him towards him, and then Sasuke just kicks him away. And I'm like, why not an Amaterasu sword through the gut and put him on fire forever? He just didn't. For some reason, he just kicked him away. I'm like, okay.
They had, and then here's the problem. In the beginning, Boruto goes, this is my story, not my dad's story, but a little bit needs to be told to him. No,
it's not. No, that's complete bullcrap. But let's go back to this nerd thing. Outside of Naruto making 1,000 clones that are the exact same strength of him, including chakra modes and multiple, and those clones can also make weaker versions of the clones themselves, which are also already Kage level.
Also, allowing him to put his own chakra into
other people. Yes. What did Naruto not do? Other than that huge war-ending thing that wrecks villages that could just be used to just overwhelm anybody. Other than that, what hasn't Naruto tried?
Now, here's the thing with Super.
Lava release, get that out of here.
Here's the thing with Super. I know they're doing everything possible that is within their repertoire to beat this person. It just don't work, and they gotta raw up some bullshit transformation or some bullshit.
Oh, really? Then why did Goku go from... Why did he go, hey, Jiren, I'm going to fight you in base? Oh, that didn't work. Super Saiyan time. He did not do everything in his power to beat Kale and Khalifa. He stood there and go, this is Super Saiyan 3.
Mm-hmm. He was trying to teach them.
That's not what you said.
But he's doing everything in his repertoire.
No, because if he did, he would grab them and teleport them over the edge and then teleport away because they couldn't fly.
You know what? That's a very interesting thing he could have did.
Yes.
But that's interesting storytelling, and that's not what Super's about.
But it's not. That's what the argument is.
I'm talking about more so like the big bad villain is in front of me, not some tournament stuff with a rule set and stuff.
But looking at Jiren, he started fighting him in base. Mm-hmm. For what purpose?
That's what's in his stupid character.
What if he got punched in base and was murdered?
Yes. Goku is a confirmed idiot.
But That breaks your he did everything in his repertoire.
I don't think it does, because he's still buzzing out everything he can do at least some point. Naruto and Sasuke did not bust out everything they could possibly do. They didn't try everything.
Naruto almost did. Outside of the thousands of clones of the exact same strength that could also make thousands of clones weaker than him. Other than that, he did. What didn't he do? You didn't answer. So, point for you.
Wait, hold on. Super duper giant size Rasengan?
That's a really big one.
It's so big.
It's really big. He hit 3 of them.
Dude, it's so bad.
It's really bad.
And we're not even talking about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funny part.
Nope, we aren't.
Orochi's son is just like
literally worthless. He does nothing. He says nothing. I hate him so much because I was skimming through Boruto like, all right, I gotta remember certain things. And I'm like, is he ever gonna do anything? And he would just stretchy arms once or twice, and then that's it. He is terrible.
What does Sarada do?
He is Oro's son.
And doing nothing.
He is welcome to the village with open arms like, oh, you could just be another vessel or a trick or something. Anything. I'm not letting this an Oro kid. Y'all remember him when he orchestrated an attack on the village that killed the 3rd Hokage? Did we forget this? Oh, but he brought back all the other Hokage. The mother put him there. He was the reason why they were in the Reaper's belly.
Ino Shikacho are just Ino Shikacho again.
Yes, that is. I hate that. And they're all better. And Sai's kid is literally nothing.
Sarada
they don't even have the personality. Sarada does not suck.
What does she do?
Waist up.
What is she?
Against Boros, it was the fight against the dude that was just like, I got Naruto in the cage, and it's the kid that's had to beat him. She devised the plan to beat him, and it succeeded.
Oh yeah, she was the leader. We were just like
that was a good.
Yeah,
that was a good enough fight. I won't say that was a good fight, but there's
no such thing as a good fight.
There was strategy. There was planning. There was moments of desperation, and then she just bust out a Chidori.
She's like 11.
And she got the strength as well, and that's like, ugh. Who said Boruto anime was a 7? I never watched the Boruto anime. I
definitely not me.
I'm not watching that crap. Stinky. Konohamaru is a poopy man.
And then all the teachers are just people that we know. Everybody's just somebody we know. There's nobody new came into the village. Nobody old left the village.
Black chick came in.
So did Timori. But we knew them.
We did know them.
How many masters do we know? How many leaders of sales do we know? And aren't they just all the people we already know?
Have they mentioned the Ambu? Is that
they don't care?
Is the Ambu disbanded?
They don't give a yeah, it's peace signs. Why would we need Ambu?
That'd be a good little hey.
And
now Sai is the leader of the Ambu.
I like how suddenly Naruto don't got a lot of paperwork. I like how suddenly that happened.
He finished them.
Now that the story is resolved of father-son Bush.
He finished it up. He was very fast. He had some laughs, but shoot. He got like, he can do a fox arm out of his back, and then that holds a pen, and he goes and he writes. It's a sloppy signature, but it's he gets a stamp.
Why wouldn't he?
Why would he?
Why wouldn't he?
Why would he?
Why wouldn't he be the person? Because I'll tell you why would he.
No, I need to know the question.
Why wouldn't he be the actual person there for the birthday and have the clone doing the paperwork?
He said that he would not do a clone for Hokage work because it's a sacred thing. He said this in the manga.
That's terrible.
It is terrible, but it's in the manga. Your question is answered. Now we can talk about the fact that it is terrible, but it's there. That is terrible. And that conversation is now finished.
I will say there are at least 6 arcs in Super. There's at least a 6 arc. There's at least a 4 arc. And here's another problem. Boruto starts so early with here's the overarching villains.
Yep, they come out the sky once that tournament is like, you're not. It's such low stakes in the beginning. It's just like the dumb tournament,
and that would have been
I just
great.
want my daddy to acknowledge me, and then it's just, oh look, there's 2 people, and then they immediately go, oh now they're fighting all the Kage, and oh he ate his friend, and so he's stronger now. Sure, and then he gets the biggest Rasengan.
It's so big.
It's pretty big, and it hurts him really.
Why the vanishing Sharingan? I mean, Rasengan.
He needs something to differentiate himself from his father.
Why? Why did it happen?
Because it is incomplete. He did not train it.
It's just a shrunk.
He did not train it well enough, so it is very tiny, and then it dissipates, and then it picks up chakra from around the air, and then it reforms, and then it hits people.
That is the worst explanation I have ever heard.
But it is an explanation. Now we can talk about, now that the explanation is done, we can talk about how terrible it is, but it is an explanation. Oh, is it a lightning nature Rasengan? But didn't Kakashi say that he couldn't combine it? So is Boruto doing something that Kakashi couldn't do within the first time of him performing a Rasengan? And there's also the fact that he has lightning nature when back in the Naruto era, when Sasuke started doing the hand seals for the fire thing, Kakashi was like, a nature? You shouldn't have that. You're a kid. And then he busts out the fire, a basic fireball jutsu, and Kakashi was shook. And this is lightning.
Subconsciously using it.
But then he later just thunderclaps all up and down, and they all up and down there.
We're talking a lot about Boruto, kid.
Yes, we are.
Let me hear
because these are your points of contention. I'm simply just allowing you to vent.
No, I want to hear your venting for Super, because I don't see how you could possibly believe it's worse.
Honestly,
yeah.
The tournament arc,
it's really bad.
Can that boy was like what? 30, 40 episodes?
It was very long.
And what good can we say about it?
There's some good moments in it.
There are some good moments in it, but it always just comes down to, oh no, big fight punch guy.
It's always going to.
Yes, but at least Naruto doesn't have that. Boruto, sorry.
Where?
The strategy to defeat Boros. They distracted him, and then they went. We see his core. His core is moving. Can I finish my statement, please? Don't you revisit me. They went, oh, there's his core. We got to figure out a way to get his core. And they figured out a way to get his core. What did they do against Jiren? They pulled out the muscles. They did, oh, look at this hand and look at this hand.
But the core dude wasn't the big strong of that, I guess, arc.
But he was a member of the
Outers.
Of the Outers. He was
or enters. He might have been.
He was a member of the clan, and that clan is said to be very strong. Even its weakest little baby people are said to be super strong. And now we have to go, how are these 4 little babies gonna beat this super strong person who we know is super strong? And he's like, oh, Naruto's a punk bitch, I'm gonna step on him. And they did. And it was logical. It wasn't some bullcrap fairy tale Ra moment.
Chidori Ra.
Chidori runs in her blood.
No, it literally doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Because Kakashi
can her daddy
Sasuke.
do the okay? So and is Sasuke related to Sarada in any way?
Yes.
Oh, so it's in the blood, huh?
No, it's definitely not. It's a jutsu that needs
to
be taught.
It's in the blood.
No, Why does she also have lightning nature then?
This is pretty lucky. There's only so many nature, and lightning is just one of them.
And the
It's in the
kids seem
blood.
to have two.
Boruto apparently from It Just Works says he has 3. And 2 was said to be like, 2 is rare. And he has 3 raw. We're not talking about that.
So there was a raw moment of just the Chidori.
After the strategy. That could have just been a Chidori
but you're
ninja tool.
You're basically saying, here's the worst arc of Super, and there is almost no good in it. I'm saying, here's the series of Boruto.
No. If I'm going the worst arc of Super, I'm going Goku Black.
Boy, that was a terrible arc.
I'm going Goku Black.
That was
Don't you put words in my mouth to try to straw man me. Yeah, no, I would go Goku Black. And that, what, one good thing?
I would go maybe 3.
Yeah, let's hear him.
I like Trunks' conversation to himself where it's just like, you're the grown-up one. Stop being a punk bitch.
Absolutely.
I liked, hey, Gohan's happy, you pieces of shut up.
Okay, 2 conversations, 0 fists involved.
I don't care.
Okay, okay, but this is a fight show. People aren't interested.
Boruto is too.
People were complaining about that conversation.
Yeah,
that conversation is the reason why Gohan's back.
Yeah,
because they didn't listen. Because they went, no, but raw.
Yes, Dragon Ball fans suck. This is a known thing. But Boruto is also a battle thing. And what did you give me? 6 panels of Shino crying, being attached.
That was very funny.
And I'ma eat you.
Mm-hmm. But I've talked about the fights, and I said that it always just comes down to Big Raw. But at least over there, we got some kind of strategy.
Once. And even then, it was a Big Raw.
Against the chick that could absorb chakra. He said, I'm just going to overload you with chakra.
Goku did that in 37
that
years
is a
ago.
strategy. That is a strategy. He did not Big Raw her.
I don't think that's how that fight ended, though.
Yeah, that is. He hit a Rasengan, and then
she went, oh, I can't. The biggest Raw?
Yeah. But it's also, I need to think of a way to do this, as opposed to, I'm just going to hit you.
I'm just going to pour all my energy into you.
And then do what? You are defeated, not because you were just overpowered, but because I had to think of a way to overpower you.
No, you were overpowered.
Yes, because what happened?
I poured all my Ra into you.
Okay, and did that knock her out because she fell out because of the Ra? Or did he have to think of a way to overload her first and then Ra her? There is no step 1 in Dragon Ball. It is just the Ra.
Gohan Wolf Dude blinding him.
I thought we were talking about Big Bads.
Oh, we're talking about Big Bads now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about that was you kept going back to that Big Bad.
Give me a second, Dan. Nope.
But it just works. He also he did beat her though. That's how he overloaded her. He didn't kill her, but he had to think of a way in order to get her to a point where she is down. And that was the way.
You might be right about the Ra.
Yeah, I know I am.
I don't know. But, because I'm thinking like hit. And that was just kind of, they beat him because it was like a philosophical thing.
But they didn't beat him. Goku lost.
They did beat him.
But Goku lost.
No, they beat the people.
They beat the people in the tournament, but Goku lost the hit.
Yeah. But I'm saying the Big Bad was defeated, not because of Ra, but because of like a philosophical change of who he was. But I'm like, that's kind of weak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what it always comes down to. In at least in Boruto, that thing that's still on the screen for some reason, that thing, it had to be like, okay, we need to think of a way and we're gonna bull crap away. I'll admit that. We're gonna bull crap away in order to chip away his life. This technique, thankfully, chips away at his life, and let's do it. And there was also the point of,
and that's
I'm going
strategy thing.
And I'm here. We go. There was the point of Kiwami that was just like, I'm going to trick you into thinking I'm right here, and it was actually just a shadow clone, so you burned up your time. And that's what they were like, oh, boo.
But wasn't the big bad already defeated? It just couldn't get into a new thing, a new vessel?
No, because then that's when...
Like, it was already beaten. His time was running out. He needed to get a vessel, and he was like, I'm going to kill Naruto if you don't get over here.
But I forget what that mode is called. That mode was the chipping away of his life. It wasn't just a big raw, and now you're staying down.
But isn't that terrible?
Yes, but it's not as terrible as the thing that goes on.
Here's your problem with Super. Super is simplistically horrible. Boruto is a variety of horrible. You're going, Super is beat by beat the same horrible it's always going to be. Boruto has peaks and valleys of its horribleness. And you're like, well, at least it's a little different.
Yeah, you get a little bit of spice.
There's
a little bit of sweet and sour.
This is like the spice grandma put into that mac and cheese that we just had to throw away.
Garlic.
What are you doing, lady?
Garlic and mac and cheese. Just dumping there. Not even like a shuka. It was just like, I'm like, oh my goodness. But again, how was Beerus defeated? How did they get the ability to defeat Beerus? Oh, let's just invent this power that just comes out of nowhere and it's terrible. How did they beat Frieza? We're not even going to talk about that. Frieza, it was just Planet Namek all over again.
They went through
time. It was nothing.
It wasn't a big raw. It was just time.
And then what happened?
They took time.
Goku
and they blasted him.
Goku.
But you're going, Chidori.
No, Goku could have defeated him.
Yeah.
Vegeta could have defeated him. And then idiots. Goku did defeat him. Mm-hmm. There was no strategy or anything there. At a certain point, he could have been murdered. But he just wasn't.
Time was a strategy.
He just went, oh, here's this technique that I'm just going to bust out that could kill me. And then later, there are no repercussions.
No thing.
Zero.
None.
Trunks with the spirit sword thing. 10 people.
Terrible.
After the Vegito thing, when Vegito could have killed him, but just didn't.
Couldn't even.
Ultra Instinct is the ability to...
they beat Black by just getting Zeno.
There's no strategy there.
But it wasn't a big raw.
It was a big raw. He did the biggest raw that took out an entire timeline.
No, he just went,
and robbed him.
That wasn't a raw.
That was a raw.
Raw is just like, I'm screaming and running towards you, and that's, I have defeated you, villain. This was at least
like... I guess we're specifying what raw is.
What is raw then if it's not people going raw?
It is I am now... you are defeated by a powerful blast.
It wasn't a blast, though. He just wiped out the universe.
It is all for all intents and purposes.
So now we're just defining what a blast is?
By what is convenient at this point.
Because that is 1,000,000% not what a blast is.
He was defeated, and then they just went, oh, here is this person that can super defeat him. And there was no strategy in defeating him. He just defeated him.
Here's the thing. You always say, it's the absence of good.
I've never said that.
And that's precisely
I've never said that.
And that's precisely what Boruto is.
These are not my words.
Boruto is the absence of good. At least there's times I will laugh in Super. Mm-hmm. At least there's times I'll go, that's pretty interesting in Super. Mm-hmm. There is nothing interesting in Boruto. There is nothing I laugh at in Boruto. There is no character I like in Boruto. Everybody sucks. The artwork is trash.
The artwork is terrible.
It's legit some of the worst.
Super, the manga looks really good. But like you said, they look 2 degrees off. And those 2 degrees... Wait a second, Mike. You calling me out. What are we talking about here? What am I blatantly lying about? But yeah, the art in Dragon Ball Super, you can at least be like, they are on model. They look good. There's some dynamic poses that he sometimes steals.
Art terrible. Plot
Art
worse
terrible.
than plot is worse than Boruto.
No, because there is a plot in Boruto, and there is not a overarching plot. There is just arc by arc plot, and people are jizzing.
Here's what I'll say about that.
We have years of podcasts of what, Mike? You gotta be specific. You gotta specify. We're gonna block you. We're gonna ban you. You're asking for a ban. You got one more comment before you're out of here, bro.
Oh, he said I never said that with the absence of. Good.
Oh, okay.
That was his character.
Yeah, no.
He knows. There is a metric of strength to get to in Super. The metric of power to get to in Boruto is literally the moon. It's literally to the moon.
Yes.
It is never ending.
But you can Super where they had to do whole new galaxies, universes for more strong people.
But
there is no limit.
None of those strong people were as strong as Beerus. Jiren is not strong as Beerus.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's stronger than. They say that he's stronger than a god.
Who is they?
They said in the series, Whis and Vermoose, his god of destruction, said that he has the strength of a god of destruction. Now, in the manga, they go, Beerus is clearly the strongest of the gods of destruction, but there's nothing like that in the anime. So we don't know if they are all of the same power, because they said that there was a god of destruction that beat Beerus, and then Beerus was just like, well, that was just arm wrestling. Okay. We don't know if that was Beerus being Beerus, or
how about this? We'll leave it as it is for right now, but we need to revisit it after watching the Boruto anime. Because, I'm not watching. Hold on, because we're taking both the Super anime and the manga, and it's not fair to Boruto.
I'm not watching. Are you gonna watch the Boruto anime?
Absolutely. I will.
For what purpose?
I will, because to move him up to the worst. We will leave it as it is for now, and this will be the sticking point to watch that thing.
But there's like 150 episodes,
and there's more chapters of Super. What you want?
But that's a lot.
Yep.
A chapter of Super takes what? 10 minutes if you're leisure?
Yep.
You can do it.
What is the point of not doing it?
I'm wasting my time.
It's not a waste of time if it's for a reason.
But it would just be for this argument. We're not gonna get more videos that are just like, yo, the Boruto anime is actually really good, y'all. Those don't exist.
It's even to expand, our talking about Boruto.
Okay, but if we watch Boruto all 150 episodes and then come back here in a month or two and just go, we're just gonna be like, yeah, Boruto's worse.
Yes.
And then we're just gonna move it up, and then that's just 150 episodes of wasted time just to move it up one slide.
Correct. It's not wasted time.
Yes, it is.
Because we learned something.
Who learned what?
We learned that Boruto is absolutely worse.
What I've been doing is I've been
you're gonna rewatch the ending of Fairy Tail, but you can't watch the
that was just because we're gonna get some arguments about the last arc, and it was very hazy, and I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, that did happen, and I would not have that did happen if I did not rewatch it. So I needed a refresher, because this was like 2-3 years ago for me reading Fairy Tail. But for Boruto, like, that's so much. It's almost 200 episodes.
What's the problem?
That's a lot.
We'll do it.
Who's we?
I'll do it. I have no problem.
I'm not okay with that Naruto being there.
I'm not okay with the Super being there. And we can discuss both next time after watching all of Boruto.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I'm glad you agree.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, uh-huh.
good. That's what I want. I want him to say it's the worst. If he would have just conceded.
No. Okay, here's what I was saying with the Dragon Ball Super thing. What I was doing in comparing Dragon Ball and Boruto, I was not going in the manga. This happened like there was a bunch of different the Trunks thing. I didn't go in the manga. Gohan fought Khalifa, and that's an argument for me. I didn't do that. I just mostly used the anime up until where the anime ended, and then I transitioned over to manga, except for that one point with the Beerus thing, just to make a point with something else. But that's what I was doing. I understand that you're like, we have the manga and the anime to use in order to critique it, but I was mostly just using the anime up until the point where it was.
I understand that.
Hey, Shino's in Boruto. That's good. That's a plus.
Yeah, and you might, get more of an argument of why.
There could be some good stuff in Boruto. Are you telling me that within almost 200 episodes, there wouldn't be a single good thing?
I will say this. The capacity for there to be good, I have yet to see in Boruto.
I got those 3 things.
I couldn't even say that. Because I could name so many things I like about Super, but I couldn't give you legitimately 5 things I've liked in Boruto. Legitimately.
Well, you're a baby. You didn't like Jiraiya being just...
The Jiraiya clone, I forgot all about that.
You didn't like
What's even the purpose?
You didn't like him? Just like...
What's even the point?
You know Jiraiya. And here he is. He's his clone, you see.
Why, sir?
The emotion. He got away. He's alive. He doesn't really care or anything about the village. He was created for the specific purpose of beating that dude, and he failed. But he did force him into his mode, which gave him a time limit, which caused him to die. And now it was just like, oh, you're my next vessel, dude. Oh, that dude over there, he's actually the strongest in the entire group. He just has a limiter on himself. Well, of course he does. I'm arguing for Boruto now, you see. You did such a poor job. I'm taking over.
It's just so unbelievable to me. Because the lack of quality in Boruto is throughout. Mm-hmm. There's at least quality bits in Super. Mm.
But like I said, I believe that the things that are bad in Super there's nothing as bad as the bad stuff in Super.
But it's so much more consistently bad.
That's the good thing to be made.
And the good things in Super, there's nothing as good in the good thing in Super as there is in Boruto.
That's an argument to be made. It's all opinions, really.
And if there's nothing else we've learned, that opinions
trump everything.
Everything. Yeah, I'm gonna secretly switch them when we stop streaming.
Pieces. Yuki, about Code Geass. It's robots. I don't like robots. I have a huge bias against it. I've heard it's really good. It probably is really good, but it has giant robots, and that is a hard selling point for me.
Boxer, how could there possibly be? It's like saying that the Dragon Ball anime has filler. Technically, no. Technically, yes.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super, it's all filler, it's all canon. You can just say in the Boruto thing, it all happens in between the things that we know happen in the manga and the movie. But the movie and the manga or
Gintama
whatever.
is one of the few things I'm not going to read. I'm actually going to watch because I think it's worth watching more than it is reading. But I am going to read it as well. I haven't gotten to it yet, though.
Gintama, Tsunohara Kenta is the mangaka of Sket Dance. I love Sket Dance. Sket Dance is one of my favorite things. He was an assistant on Gintama, and he learned a lot of things. Because that Sket Dance is also very comedic in nature. So I just went, oh my goodness, he learned from this dude. So I'm going to go over here and read Gintama. And I read a good chunk of Gintama, and I really liked it. It was quite funny.
Saint Seiya, it's on the I need to go back and watch the classics. Things like that, Berserk. So it's just in that area. Only the first 5 novels, the movie, and the manga are strictly canon. I guess that's for Super.
Boruto.
Or Boruto. Okay, yeah. Again, quote unquote canon.
Yeah, Gintama is one of those things where you will see lists of, oh my goodness, the best comedies, and Gintama will be on the list. It's very gag oriented, Japanese puns and things like that. Like I said, it's really good. It has Gintama, dude that voices Gintama is my favorite Japanese seiyuu. So that's just like mwah mwah. He was also in Sketch Dance.
Cowboy Bebop is one of the things that got me into anime. I love Cowboy Bebop. Spike Spiegel is one of my favorite protagonists.
I think it's really good. I've never seen all of it, but what I have seen is I like it.
Do not watch Berserk. No, I'm gonna read Berserk.
But I'm gonna read Berserk if it ever finishes, because he could just drop dead and then like what? We're never gonna get the conclusion. And Berserk is a weird thing because through osmosis and just being in the anime community, I know so much about it, the eclipse and everything.
Yeah,
I know the bailiffs, all that stuff. I know about them, so that loses its shock value, which is the big thing, because I think it opens up on Guts chasing after Griffith, and then it flashes back to why he was doing it.
Yeah,
and I already know the why, so it's like, yeah. So that's one of those things, and I'll never forget about it. But it's probably one of those things like I'm just gonna enjoy this ride as I rock it.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do, especially. There's too many people that are just so quick to just like spoil things. And then what is the time limit on a spoiler? Like people should be able to openly discuss Berserk. If you're not in at this point, you missed the boat.
And like I said, it's not people just openly spoiling. It's just being
on the periphery.
Just the osmosis of just being in the anime community, watching AMVs, just reading Twitter and stuff like that. Like the whole Griffiths did nothing wrong. That's a big meme that's been going on, and you have to go why, and then people will explain why. And you know, I missed the boat. Dab on them. Higurashi.
I haven't read the Higurashi manga, but I am a big fan of the anime. I also played the visual novels. Very, very, very good. It's probably my favorite horror series as far as anime and manga goes. And it's got a couple of my favorite characters. I love Ryugu Rena. I like Keiichi a lot. Yeah, I'm a fan of Higurashi. I need to wait for the new one to finish. Did the new one finish up yet?
I think I haven't been seeing anything about it. Usually there is a anime news network will do like a here's this episode review, and I haven't kept my ear to the ground doing it as far as that. But I haven't seen anything, so it might be done. It might be on hiatus.
Yeah. For a war for spoilers, I'll give them like if it's something new that just came out, I'll give them at least a couple days because people work. You know, you don't want to just wake up in the morning and go, "Oh my God, this happened in Mortal Kombat."
And what you can't expect people to just never talk about Berserk. It's like read it or no, shut up. Toriko. Toriko is one of the things that was just like I've heard that it's good, but I heard that it had a rush finish, and I don't like things ending poorly. So one day, maybe when I'm sick, I'll just burn through it because it's not very long. I might just do
that. Yes, they did release a remake. It's both a remake and a continuation. I know. I was spoiled on that, but yeah, they did release one quite recently. And if it's a continuation, that's a big thing from Kai. D Gray Man is one of those things I always wanted to read but just never got around to it. Umineko is very, very weird. Like I like Umineko, but I also kind of don't like it. I think they went a little too hard on the gory. Like the gore is part of the charm of the Higurashi stuff, but it's not what makes it. And there's not enough characters there that I really like. I did like Battler and the witch's dynamic, but beyond that, it's just like,
Samurai Champloo. I caught a couple episodes on Adult Swim.
No, I really like it.
Looks straight.
It's one of those things like Michiko to Hachiin that people should watch.
I know that the director also went on to make Space Dandy, and I loves me some Space Dandy. Or I could just be wrong and lying about that. But I feel like I'm right. And I'm not going to fact check it. I'm just going to say that I'm right. Nobody correct me in chat unless you want a hot ban. But you can't tell me I'm right.
What new shonen you reading right now? Doctor Stone. I always give that a little bit of time and then catch up. Same as One Punch Man. I'm actually finally reading Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm only about 27 chapters in. It's pretty good. I don't understand the hype. I think it's one of those, anime things again.
Or it could be coming. The hype could be
Yeah. But it's only like 145 chapters right now, so it's got to hit soon, I guess. But yeah, I can see why it's good. I'm just waiting on the main character to meet up back with his friends because I like that dynamic more than the stuff that's going on right now.
I don't read anything like current. I'm Epos. That's a banger. Black Clover. I'm in. There is a show. It's not technically shonen, but it's called Comey Can't Communicate. If you're into some very light romance comedy type of thing, go on and check it out because it's one of the best things in the world. That's all. I'm just chilling.
What was that manga you said where only the one girl could see demons and stuff? Like horror stuff that was happening around people. Because I was looking it up and I was like, dang, I do not remember what he said.
It is called Miriko-chan or something like that. I will send it to you later. But that thing, it is the art. I'm not a big art person, but it is so good. Okay, I don't tweet very often, and I tweeted about that.
Yeah, you tweeted the anime it was getting an anime adaptation, but it was all in Japanese. So I was like, dang, this is the thing he was talking about.
Okay.
But
yeah, here it is. Miriko-chan. Okay. Look that up. The art is spectacular. It's just horror stuff. Just these horrible eldritch monsters, just like all these eyes and heads and just dripping viscera. It's so fantastic. And it's just a girl. She's the only person that can see him, and she's always just freaked out. It's very, very good.
Favorite shonen protag is very hard because for the most part, the characters around the protag are what I like more. And even thinking it's probably Luffy, just because I think he's the best of the ones I've read.
I'll hit you with 3 of them. I'll hit you with Luffy. I'll hit you with Jolene. And the Sket Dance protagonist is named Boston. And his mission in life is just to help people. And he's just a very goofy person and very helpful and loving.
Yusuke. Never mind.
Yusuke's money.
Never mind.
Put Yusuke's in there as well. I'll go 4. I'll do like Fairy Tale Guy did and say, I'm going to do 3. Here's 4. Here's tied for 10. 3 things tied for 10. That's how numbers work. You bum.
Yuki, if you've been reading JoJo, just read part 5. If you've been watching JoJo, just watch part 5.
The dub is stellar as always. If you're a dub person, some people aren't.
Yeah, I think some fights are really elevated by it, but I think and it definitely clears. You know what? I would say watch it because it definitely clears up a lot of the King Crimson stuff. Like visually,
it's a lot. Unless you're one of these people that's like, I'd rather just burn through it. And you can burn through the 100 or some chapters of that in a couple days, as opposed to watching it and everything.
Junji Ito stuff, I always see like screenshots of it and stuff, and I'm just like, I really want to check something of his out, but I just don't know where to start or what particularly is good. And then I'm just like,
He has a bunch of like little short stories.
Yeah,
I've only read Uzumaki, and I really like that. It's a lot of just like, ooh, this dude. And it's very odd because he's all this like dark philosophical stuff, and then you see him, he's just like this little Japanese dude with glasses. There's like this picture of him making a heart mark with cat ears on. I'm like, you're the dude.
It's always weird to see what comes out of people's minds when they just look like the most nicest, or you look like a person that will write some horror stuff, and you write some magical girls. So odd. Luffy is tremendous. Like, I've gotten into discussions about people of whether he's an anti-hero or not. I just think that Luffy does what he thinks is right, and that just happens to be the right thing. Like, people are starving in
Onigashima.
Yeah, and he's just like, you're making them starve, and I hate you for it, because this person gave me food and was real nice to me. Would he necessarily care if he didn't get food and meet these people? Probably not.
people have a big problem with the Big Mom thing.
Why though? She's a big old kid.
Spoilers about what happens in a very recent chapter of One Piece. But people are just like, this is just another turn. It's inconsistent for Big Mom.
She loves children.
She loves children. She has a code of honor. She's a big child. Kindness goes a long way. What is her goal? So that everybody can sit down and be equals.
At the dinner table.
She's a mom, and it was this dude that was just like, oh, here she is, robbing and pillaging these places for their food to make her cake. And I'm like, that she's still a pirate. She's still a piece of crap. These people did not show kindness to her. She is a big, giant monster lady, and they have so little food, but they still present it to her. And then Kaido just wiped them out for petty reasons. And she's like, this is some bullshit. Those were some nice people. We have never seen her wrong the nice people. And then they brought up betraying Judge. And I'm like, what did Judge do for her? She wanted something from Judge. There was no kindness there. She is a pirate. She is a piece of... But like she said, she has a code. She has a line. I love Big Mom.
Tevin, One Piece pre-time skip versus post. I think I enjoyed pre-time skip more, but I think there's a lot in post that is way better than pre.
I wish characters would get more time to shine post time skip.
But they're getting their time right now.
Yes.
This Wano arc, everybody's getting something. And that's the first time in a long time, because you look at something like, when the last time a Robin had a real fight?
Somebody like a Frankie, a Chopper, stuff like that. It's like, I wish they would just have, because people are like, oh my goodness, this is Robin's like first legit fight since the Skypiea thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe give Robin a little something more. Because most of her things, she instantly snaps somebody's neck or she's in a struggle.
Yeah.
So we get to see what Robin can do here now.
I will say post time skip has the worst arc in One Piece in Fishman Island. But it also has a top 3 arc in Whole Cake Island.
Whole Cake Island is my favorite arc.
Whole Cake Island.
That's just because
money.
Big Mom she's so good. And people are just showing me Cell, like, oh my goodness, Cell, when you got this big dumb baby lady who just eating people and just cakes and risky. Oh, Big Mom.
Tom, picking up One Piece. If you enjoy reading manga, definitely read the color manga. You can find it online somewhere, because it cleans up a lot of arc and makes things more distinctive, and it's a breezy read.
I always, the ease of entry is really important for me. Something like Samurai 8 is just too much too soon.
It's so many words.
Something like One Piece is basically one character, and then he gets a friend, and concepts are slowly introduced, small enemies. There's not too much overload in the beginning. It's very slow. You get to know these people, and then it starts to ramp up and up and up and up. It is an incredibly breezy read. If
you're a person that likes anime, I would say go to One Piece, which is like a fan-made Dragon Ball Kai, where they cut out a lot of the filler, condense some stuff, make it closer to the manga, but it's only in sub. But so if you're a dub-only person, definitely get Funimation. Definitely just watch the dub.
Mm-hmm.
Last fight Robin has since One Piece. Yeah. After Skypiea,
she's had combo fights
with Chopper against Dr. Hogback. She had it in Dressrosa, Oars, stuff like that. She hasn't gotten I am the person. Yeah, One Piece. You spelled it correctly.
So yeah, that's one of my things. So I'm like, I'd like to see Robin getting a little bit of a tussle.
Boy, she's getting it. This is looking fire.
And it's with Brooke, and I'm like, ooh, this is something I never knew I needed, but now I only need this.
It's so odd that so many people could just team up in One Piece. It's just like they are all together at all times, and I never thought I wanted them to team up. And now that I'm getting it, I want this so bad. Like in Robin Chopper, why would I want that team? But man, Robin Cho was great. I think Fishman Island is conceptually good, but execution is more just like hey, what can the Straw Hats do after
it's
all
a
these
show
years?
off arc. And then you also got stuff about the ancient weapons and things like that. You got a little more sprinkling with Gold Roger. Vinland Saga sounds very familiar. I'm gonna look that up because that's probably one of those things where it's popular. And yes, this looks very familiar. I've not seen it. This looks like is this because I'm not a big fan of like medieval stuff. And that's what this is looking like. Same thing with Kingdom. I know Kingdom is medieval stuff, and that's one of those things. I'm very picky when it comes to certain things. I like a lot of slice of life stuff. You put some people in a classroom and just have them do some antics. I'm all in that. High concept, not high concept, high fantasy sort of things back in the past, up in space, up in the future. It's not really getting me.
I've always said that with One Piece, you get to the end of not Fishman Island, but Arlong Park. If you like it, just keep going. If you're just kind of get to the end of Alabasta. If you don't like it, just drop it. See, people always assume, you say, hey, pick up One Piece. What, I gotta read 1,000 chapters? No,
you ain't gotta read nothing. Read it up until the point where you go, all right, this ain't for me. And Yakuza. Have you thought about playing Yakuza spinoffs? I played Like a Dragon. It's probably my second favorite. Probably my second favorite game of last year. It's a fantastic game. The very end, there's a big monologue with this dude, and he is just acting his heart out, and it is mwah, mwah.
Judgment looks really interesting. I know my friend Katana Prime is playing it right now on stream. Not right this second, but he's playing it right now. Yeah, I really want to watch it. Oh, you're a Claymore boy.
Okay, Claymore is that's not fair because yes, that is high concept, that's fantasy, that's medieval stuff, but it's so good. And Claymore, we skipped over a couple.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
We're gonna get back to that. But Claymore is so good. It's one of those things where I'll sit there and I'll just be like, wow, Claymore was amazing. Nobody's thinking about it. Nobody's talking about it. It came out. It was a banger from start to finish, and then it faded away. The end of the anime, it ruined it. Oh my goodness. Why would they do that? They could have just there was a perfect end point where everybody just presumed dead and they split off. But they wanted that, feel good ending. I don't know if they were just like, we ain't getting no more or whatever. But it didn't even go too long after that. But yeah, Claymore is so good. The art is fantastic. The characters, the power system. This dude is such a great artist that all of the women all have silver eyes and silver hair, and he makes them all distinct. There are at least 50 people named important characters with silver eyes and silver hair, and they look different, they act different. And I'm just like, how do you do this when Oda can't draw two women? He got three stencils for women, and he'll just fill them in.
He said so many times, if you tell me to draw a woman, I can do it. If you tell me to draw an attractive woman,
So yeah, Claymore is something that I would absolutely recommend. It starts off great, and it just doesn't get off the gas, and nobody's talking about it, nobody's thinking about it. But the people that know, they know. I've never heard somebody go, Claymore, it's alright. I've heard Claymore is a banger from start to finish.
Alfonso, favorite sports manga? You're gonna have Ice Shield 21, you're gonna have Ippo, you're gonna have Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk is probably my maybe Ice Shield is my favorite. I think Slam Dunk's the best, but Ice Shield might be my favorite. Depending on how Ippo goes, it'll end up being my favorite probably. But Ippo, there was a period where I was just like, no. And that's when he was beating Wally, and I was just like, I am not for this.
I dig that. I'm not a big sports man, so I like Ippo and I like Bamboo Blade, and Bamboo Blade is basically just a slice of life stuff with sports stuff. It's more slice of life than sports. That's about it for me. There's stuff out there where I'm like, maybe I'll check out Toriko, but no basket one day. This fool keeps pumping Eye Shield and crap like that. Maybe I'll check it out. But more than likely, Big No.
Because you can't watch the ice show anime because it's got that the
Those,
ship behind them stuff.
Yeah, here comes my anchor arms.
Yeah, the manga doesn't have that really, maybe a couple times, but the Slam Dunk has none of that. It's just nose to the ground basketball and characters. Have you guys read or watched
Look at all these Claymore people. They know. They in there. Like I said, the people that know, they know.
Have you guys read or watched My Comedy Romance? Never even heard of it.
I think that might be the snafu thing. That
Oh, okay, yeah. I did hear about that then. No, I haven't. But he's a slice of life guy. I'm not. I care more about plot than characters. So I like good characters in my plot. But I really, if you've got a good plot, you will hook me.
But the thing about me is, I don't really like romance. So
that's so weird.
Yeah, I love slice of life stuff. But once the romance goes, oh my god. So that just sort of lessens. I know if I go into the romance thing, I'll be like, oh, there's a whole lot more good stuff out there. But something like Comey that I mentioned before, read Comey Can't Communicate. Everybody write this down. Comey Can't Communicate. It's such a breezy, easy read. It's very light on the romance. Extremely light. It's almost like 500 chapters of will they, won't they, and they're just not expressing their feelings. That's something that I like as opposed to the kid mushing together. Something like Toradora, people are like, this is one of the greatest romance things of all time. I'm like, I don't really dig romance.
But didn't you really like that romance manga a couple years ago with the dude with the sunglasses and a little girl? School Rumble.
School Rumble, yeah. That's again, romance was not the point of it because he was chasing after her and she was chasing after another dude. But it was mostly just character stuff and comedy.
Ashita no Joe, have you read it? It's a boxing manga. I know the ending to it and it kind of ruined it. One day I'll get to it, but
Claymore needs a brotherhood where they just go, we're doing it again.
We're doing it right this time.
We're doing it right this time because it deserves it. It wouldn't be more than 48, maybe 60 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, something like Monster. Monster had like 52.
Yeah, that's not too bad. 2 seasons, a movie, a couple OVAs. You're rocking it. You're eating.
Thoughts on King of Fighters or Tekken? Both are super fun games. I enjoy Tekken more than King of Fighters.
Both movies suck.
Both movies suck.
Live action, stinky.
King of Fighters is really execution heavy.
Yeah.
If you don't have execution, you're gonna suck at that game.
I was big into Tekken for a while.
Tekken 7 especially.
It was Tekken 7 that did it. And I was an Asuka main. But Asuka is legitimately one of the best characters in the game. And I love her so much. But she's too good. And I wasn't having fun because I was winning too much.
Yeah, it's hard to... Because there's people that have fun winning. Like, that's their fun to win. And there's people that have fun while trying to win.
Yeah. And it's just like, her frame data is so good. She's just blowing people out of the water so much that I'm like, I love this character outside of her being good, but it's just not too much fun for me right now.
I think she got nerfed.
She definitely got nerfed, but then she also got some buffs.
Okay. Yeah, the Wally fight was the worst. I was reading it as it came out too, and the Wally just completely decimated Ippo, and then it's just like, but no. And I was just like, holy, just lose. There's no reason not to lose. It's not gonna kill you. One Punch Man. One Punch Man is really I was for the longest time against One Punch Man because it was just like it's so popular. Everybody do it. Everybody watching it. I was just like, ugh. Everybody's talking about it. Saitama versus Goku. Ugh. But one day I finally picked it up and I went, oh, this is pretty good. And I really enjoy that manga. I think I always give it like 6 months before I start reading it again. The last thing I read, they had fought like a giant queen or something. And but One Punch and it was over.
I watched 3 or 4 episodes and it was the same joke over and over again. And I quit it because I didn't laugh the first time.
Thoughts on Final Fantasy? It's enjoyable. There's up and down as always. Final Fantasy X was fantastic. I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy 7 and I get a lot of flack for it. Final Fantasy X2, this man was a big fan
of it. It's such a great battle system. And it's not world-endingly serious. It's just a bit of a goof, and you got your oh my goodness threat, but it's not sin. It's goofy. You got your cosplay girls. I really like it. You got multiple endings, multiple ways to do things, multiple chapters that you need to do specific things, and it's great. I love X2.
I did love 6. I loved 4 as well for Final Fantasy.
13 is the drizzlish.
Yeah, it's big. I like 15, but I like 15 more for the dynamic of the group than the battle system. I would really like them to go back to turn-based. Because Persona 5 has shown that turn-based can still work in today's world.
Same thing with Like a Dragon.
Just give me some turn-based stuff, and I would love to play Like a Dragon, but you bought it for disc, and I got a discless PS5.
Oh my goodness! So... And there's no way that I could personally get it. It's over there, and there's only disc versions available, so I can't play it. Is what you're saying?
I'm just waiting for a Steam sale.
That was like $30 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but I want the big edition.
The complete edition.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait on
that. Neo. The World Is With You. The anime, I haven't watched it. I'm waiting for it to finish up. I don't really like week to week anime, and I'm a dub man, so I'm hoping that gets dubbed one day, because you got to sit down and watch subs, and I like to do stuff while I'm watching anime, not just like one thing. Play a game, fiddle on my phone, things like that. I love The World Is With You though. It's such a great game. Can't wait for the second one. It's already pre-ordered. Blaze Blue. It's a fun game. Not competitive in it at all. Arc System, there's so many different fighting styles that it gets overwhelming. You got puppet masters, you got trap users, just all sorts of things. And Blaze Blue, it's got so many characters and they fight different, but
that's part of the fun of it, because I love absolutely. Guilty Gear for that stuff.
I like watching it. I like playing it. Like in Guilty Gear, hey, Venom is one of my favorite fighting characters of all time with his pool cues. It's such a unique thing, but I'm so trash with them. But I'll watch people and they're just styling on people. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the potential of this character? It's great.
Thoughts of Kingdom Hearts? I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I play it sometimes and it's okay.
But I am a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. It has its ups and downs. 360 whatever days is a big down. I think the best game in the system is Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a banger. I don't care what anybody says. Remind was fantastic. I loved the boss fights, all of them. That was very challenging and fun. I liked the way that things wrapped up in Kingdom Hearts 3. I didn't like the very, very end, because this dude over here saw me when I saw that ending. I literally punched a wall. I'm not gonna spoil what happened, but it was very not what I wanted, because they did give me what I wanted and then they snatched it away from me in the very same scene, not 10 seconds later. I'm very positive on Kingdom Hearts. Very, very positive. I would like them to experiment more, like with the chain of memory cards thing, because that was such a fun battle system.
Yeah, I love the chain of memory.
Yeah. Most other things are just mash X, fire, mash X, fire.
As far as buying discless, I am super lazy when it comes to my games. Like, I'm a competitive fighting gamer, so I'll switch between fighting games all the time, and I don't want to get up and switch a disc and such. So I'll just go, hey, I'm done with Mortal Kombat 11. Let me go play MLB. Okay, I'm done with MLB. Let me play some Street Fighter. I'm done with Street Fighter. Let me go play some Fighter Z. I'm done with that. Let me go play this. Like, I can just look at my big list of games and just go, I feel like playing this game today, and just play it without getting up and doop-a-doop disc.
Walking on your feet.
Walking on my feet. I ain't about that life.
And I like to have a collection just to look at it and go, yeah, those are all my games. I don't like a lot of games. I don't play a lot of games, but what I do like and what I do play, I love them. And I like to just look at them, and I don't mind getting up and doop-a-doop-a-doo and switching them over. That's no issue for me.
Lee was fantastic. I love Lee. I love Lee. I love Lei. Law is my favorite character. Forest Law from Tekken 3. Not so much a fan of martial law, but I love Forest Law. Yep, I guess we're out of here then. We'll be coming back to this in a couple months. We've got the live stream of the One Piece openings coming soon. And the Fairy Tale month is coming this week.
We got a Boruto retrospective coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah, Sunday I think it is, or Saturday night.
Where we're talking with Lone saying in the chat. He's our friend. We're gonna live stream that 7:00 Eastern our time. Hopefully that goes through. And we're just gonna talk about Boruto, getting all of our feelings out. We're not gonna be as much comparing. It's just gonna be trashing it for the most part.
There's no most part at all. The whole part, every second of it, trash.
We got the Just Stop one coming up. We're recording that within the next couple of days. So that's going to be the end of Fairy Tale month. That's a 3-hour boy.
Yeah.
So that's going to be multiple parts. I'd like to sprinkle something in the middle of that for the people who don't really care about Fairy Tale.
Yeah. What do you want to do? We could do the next part of the JoJo live stream. Everything.
Yeah, there we go. That's good because we didn't finish that up.
Okay. Yeah, we can finish that
up. And then after that he gets to pick whatever the next video is.
I'm thinking the Cosmo Spidey video.
Going back to Cosmo.
Thinking the Cosmo Spidey video.
Always safe. Always a good one.
Yep. Got a new series coming out. Check it out. Where we just recommend things to check out to each other, and then we watch it and critique what we saw. On the next Bad Movie Day, I play Shin Megami Tensei 3 or Nocturne, whatever that one is. Month of My Hero. There probably is enough for a My Hero month.
There definitely is. We would, if we do that, we would definitely do the Bakugo video again.
Yeah, because we lost that recording, so
sadly.
You know
so that's at least one. There's definitely enough for a My Hero month.
And especially because that'd be around the episode 60, so that'd be a good 20 weeks from now or so. That'd be a lot of time. You know what? We might just do that My Hero month. Because there are a lot of people blowing it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind blowing it for the early stuff, but Naruto month will be episodes at least 48, 49, and 50, maybe even episode 47. We're on episode 40 coming up. So you're looking at roughly 7 to 10 weeks before we hit Naruto month. Roughly 7 to 10
We're very inconsistent.
So let's see, that's May.
But I don't have a job anymore, so that's a lot of recording time.
So we're talking probably around July is going to be Naruto month.
So just recommend us some stuff. We already got some stuff in the barrel. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like I always say, stop coming to these live streams.
Stop watching us.
We don't need it.
Unsubscribe. Stop commenting.
Legitimately stop coming.
You know what? I thought about doing this once. I thought about just live streaming at 1 a.m. to see if people would come. And just, I don't know what I would live stream, just an hour or 20 minutes, just like, who the is watching us at 1 a.m.? Yeah, you guys are nuts. But hey, we're nuts. Yeah, so I guess we're out of here.
More stuff coming, as always.
As always, the content do not stop on this channel. Actually, I am doing a typical YouTube video on the Mark Dragon Ball versus One Piece.
Goodness gracious.
Because I am so tired of the people coming up. Why is this so long? It's just his opinion.
Why are y'all laughing? Let them finish the sentence.
So I'm going to give y'all what y'all want, and y'all going to see just how poorly constructed that video is. I've already written a script about it. I've already recorded it 3 times, and I'm going to rewrite the script and record that 3 times.
But how long is it?
The recording? 20 minutes. The video is probably going to be about 11 minutes.
That ain't too bad. I'm keeping an eye on Mark because he's making his way through Hunter x Hunter, and he's loving it. And I can't wait for him to get to the Chimera Ant arc. We tackling that for sure. Because he's terrible.
He's terrible. Like, I wouldn't say he's the worst content creator we do, but he's close. Like, bottom 2 close. Who would be the worst?
I say he's the worst that is consistently putting out content.
I don't know. That Nux things was terrible.
Nux, he's very memey. He does stuff like, I paid $1,000 for a VTuber to say this, and he's been doing a lot of that and a lot less like proper anime analysis and things of that nature. Ocean, what has Ocean been? Has Ocean been hitting anything? Have we checked in on him recently?
I don't know. I'm blocked. That man hot blocked me on Twitter.
I wonder why. It's not like he came into our comments spewing hot, and then like, what happened? Oh, he made an Endeavor video.
The never-ending Endeavor.
Okay, but what is a rivalry? What is that?
Yeah, I saw that. He's so pretentious.
Yeah, he's not doing anything like the magic of Naruto. Like, I mean, the magic of Pokemon. That's not really like this type of stuff. Is just like we couldn't really say anything. We could pick a random Mark video and we destroy it.
I don't know that Endeavor boy.
Check the very first the brilliance of part 5, and Ocean did
the brilliance of Golden Wind.
The brilliance of Golden Wind, and Ocean dropped a comment like, "Oh man, I don't know what did he say?"
Yeah, I'll show it on screen. I don't care. Cause I even date. There you go.
72 thumbs up.
On one hand, I am unsure what part of my video was so controversial that it warranted such an extreme response.
Hey, watch the video, you cuck. You don't have to guess. Watch it.
On the other, you know what? Oceanus, I'm going to finish reading this and I'm going to tell you why Oceanus was so terrible with this one. On the other hand, I am definitely impressed by the dedication, even if it's fueled by hate of my favorite part, LMAO. Take care, buddy.
Not pretentious.
Now, here's what happened with him. Oceanus was like, yeah, at one point they said something about this part isn't what he said. Like it was like Sicily or something. He was like, no, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I guess they got me. And I'm like, we never said that. We both commented.
Give that timestamp.
We don't care about that. I said, and he said, please show us a timestamp where we said that because we will gladly take it back or say we were wrong because we don't care about enough. He didn't respond. It's clear as day that he just, somebody dropped it in a Discord or something. Somebody else said, this is what they're saying.
Yep.
And then he was like,
he didn't watch a second of it because he couldn't take his work being critiqued. We did a video on a dude that was just like, these dudes suck.
And it was a troll video, but it was just like, wow, this shadow just is not living up to its potential. We were like, let's go there. Let's talk about it. What's up? Bleak pieces of going, hey, I will destroy you with this debate. Let's debate this, sir.
I'm sure he was not expecting that.
And it's been 9 months. They definitely were. Because the last time I was looking up our name in that server to be like, did they comment and say, the next time we... And one of them was just like, yeah, I just need a little bit more debating prowess under my umbrella. The last time I really had to think on my feet was Compros. That means they don't think on their feet most of the time with these debates. Terrible. Yeah, the first half of part 5 was pretty good.
You're showing everything. My goodness.
Yeah.
Doxing us.
Okay, there we go.
I love the Tales games. There's only been one that I haven't liked that was recent, and I was like Zestiria or one of them that was just like, yeah, this is a bit stinky. But most of them just love the fighting system. The stories are for the most part nonsensical. They get overly convoluted and complicated, and you're just kind of along for the ride. I love the battle system. One of them, I think it was Zillia 2. I was so deep into it, I was just like, I like the battle system, so let me just skip through all of this crap. Oh, that girl's dead and he's a demon now? Boy, whatever.
Yeah, when we first made that video, I think we had 6 subscribers. And he made that comment. and sent the fans to attack us.
He's got 72 thumbs up for what?
And let's look at our ratio on that one.
That's not a bad ratio when you think about it. You know, it's there. Yeah, Zillia was terrible, Mike.
It was spelled with an X, by the way. Xilia.
You know, he's going through the corona withdrawals, I guess.
There's been like 2 times somebody has sent people to us, and it was Oceanus and it was DBZ and Brad. Cosmo fans are just ain't nuts, so they'll just go to our channel and go thumbs down. But he doesn't send anybody our way. Those 2 literally linked us or just talked about us like, yes, go. You pieces of he's so pretentious.
Zestiria, that was the one where I was thinking of. All right, we said we were gotta go, but and now we gotta go because we'll be sitting here talking all night.
Yeah, we are talking money.
Whatever, don't show up.